up in 30 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah. So we'll get started and then we'll pause. But hey, welcome back to the main
Pause.
section.
We were not pausing.
We'll pause. Reese, we have to pause.
We'll just make it short. How about a short, quick little 20-minute, 30-minute session?
We'll keep it rolling while Ryan's gone. He'll come right back. All right. We were talking about right before we started recording. We were talking about Penn State lineup and how they're going to figure everything out. It kind of works in tandem with the recent onslaught of commitments that we had in the last 72 hours. And if you haven't heard, if you've been under a rock and this is your first thing you've seen from coming out underneath a rock, Bo Bassett committed to Iowa, Jax Forrest committed to Oklahoma State, and Dreshaun Ross committed to Oklahoma State. So that's your top 3 wrestlers out of the class of 2026. None of them going to Penn State.
None of the top 5.
None of the top 5 going to Penn State. Where are the other 2 going?
Virginia Tech and Illinois.
Right. But
this could change. That could change, though. Like the top 5 could change, is what I mean.
Who do you think would change?
Or the commitments could change. I don't know. Aaron Stewart could drop out of the top 5 at any time.
Okay. I thought you were talking about commitments.
I mean, that could change, or who's in the top 5 could change.
Yeah.
But so some people are talking about, Penn State recruitment falling off, blah blah blah, not keeping up. I think it wouldn't surprise me if Cale Sanderson's kind of pumping the brakes on the commitment a little bit, or on the recruitment trail a little bit, because it's got a log jam of wrestlers, especially at the upper weights. So we know.
At the lower weights too.
Yeah. It's two separate log jams, really. So this year they're going to lose Kurt McHenry, Bo Bartlett, Carter Strachey, Greg Kirkfleet. Those are like the significant names that they're losing. I don't know. I mean, Kurt and whatever. So next year, 165 is going to be Mitchell Mesenbrink, but you have Joe Seeley right behind him, who is in red shirt right now. Levi Haynes is still going to be around, and you have Zach Ryder, the Mirasola brothers, Josh Barr, Lucas Cochran is still around. Just it doesn't all fit, and so you either got to put somebody on the bench, somebody's got to get hurt.
Just why Penn State fans were wanting to add more weight classes. I'm serious. This was being talked about, and a lot of it was from Penn State people. They were wanting to add an 11th weight class up top. It's like, and now that I think about it, it's like, no, it makes sense.
Maybe. I think also that's just been a general thing where people are like, well, I don't understand why you go from 197 to 285. You have these small incremental jumps in weight, and then all of a sudden you jump up to 285, and it's like, yeah, that's the weight distribution. Or science or something like that. But I think adding, it took so long for 197 to get interesting. I think adding a 220 or a 215 or something like that would just dull all of the quality.
Muddy the waters.
Yeah. So I think that's a bad idea. I mean, maybe Penn State said that and they're like, let's do that so that we can have more titles. But 10 weights is good.
I don't think anybody affiliated with Penn State said that. I just think it was Penn State fans. I did see it coming from Penn State fans.
Sure, could have been. But so yeah, I mean, one of the group with Zach Ryder, Levi Haynes, Josh Barr, Connor Mirasola, Lucas Cochran, one of those, or maybe multiple of those guys, are going to be on the bench next year, or Levi Haynes can redshirt. But that you're just delaying. You're delaying things at that point. You're gonna run into this problem no matter what. So, yeah, I don't know what it's gonna look like. And then PJ Duke is coming up the next year right after that, and I mean, maybe he's like, I want to start right away. I'm ready. I want to go out there. I want to go wrestle. I guess I don't know. So. They're going to have problems.
He's going to be 57, 65. Like, oh my goodness, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Shane Van Ness is listed as a junior. He's got 3 more years. Well, 2 more after this year.
Yeah.
So he's going to be around.
2 more, But there are people who don't. I was agreeing with you, but there are people who don't.
Don't always use that.
Yeah, go after their extra medical stuff.
Yeah.
Shane, I could see Shane Vaness doing it for sure, but I'm just saying there are people who don't.
Yeah.
You guys notice how Sparks says his last name?
No.
Vaness. Shane Vaness. It's so annoying.
Shane Finesse.
Yeah, it's very annoying.
He misses one of the ends, is what you're saying?
Yeah, like Tim or Jim or whoever is commentating with him, like will say Van Ness, but Shane is just like Venice gets the finish. And I don't know, it just drives me crazy.
I did, and I like. Whoa, Apollo is angry. Anyway, all right. I like Shane Sparks, but I don't listen to commentary when I watch Duels. It doesn't matter for anyone. I just don't. I mute it.
I listen to it. I mean, I don't mind Shane. Sometimes, some of the other Big Ten commentary can be tough. If it's like some of the students from the university, it's bad. There were a couple of years at Indiana where it was unbearable. It was terrible.
Are you talking about the year you were doing it?
Yeah, I don't know how anybody could listen to a moment of it. Me especially. I made such a dumb mistake the very first duel that I had to do commentary for, because it was Indiana, Iowa. And this is the year where nobody knows who's going to be wrestling at 184, whether it was Wilkie or Abe Assad, or I think there was a third option. And I see a guy walk. I'm looking. I'm at the top of the arena. I'm looking all the way down. I see a guy with a shoulder tattoo. I'm like, it's Cash Wilkie. It was Abe Assad.
Yeah.
So I mixed up. And then I look on the Iowa forums. It's like, apparently anybody with a shoulder tattoo is Cash Wilkie. I'm like, they heard that one.
Yeah.
Egg all over your face.
Yeah. So, but yeah, commentary is not easy. There's some good, there's some bad.
It's easy.
Moving on. What do you guys think about the commitments from this week?
I'm excited about it. When you really zoom out and think about it, the Bo Bassett to Iowa commitment makes a lot of sense.
Which is the biggest difference maker?
Bo Bassett.
Yeah. On a lot of different parallels. I think that draws in more interest from other recruits. I think the Bash and Willie were talking about how he's such an antithesis to the way Iowa kind of does their social media presentation, because you do kind of, when you look at it, you see some teams and they kind of allow for some freedom with their athletes in terms of what they do on like Instagram or whatever. The Iowa guys kind of feel like robots. Kind of feels like they're these tools for the SIG.
Spencer Lee
feel like they're any more concealing, like, or they don't like any more like well hidden than like Penn State guys. Like, I think Penn State guys are also just as, if not more, reserved.
Yes,
Penn State guys, they do the things where it's like whatever person will come up and be like, ask them whatever question, like what's your favorite recipe to make or something, or who's the best cook on the team.
Doesn't do those things.
I mean, I don't see any of them. I don't.
I'm maybe sure they would do them if Big Ten, posted or like wanted to post one.
But
dude, like, I listen to that too.
Individuals from each program will do stuff. Like Spencer Lee would post stuff all the time of him working out. Or
when it was Spencer and Max Murin and Michael Kemmerer, I feel like it was a very different situation. And I think it was the vibe that you got from what you would see on social media, where it looked like they were having a lot of fun.
Well, maybe you just don't have the stars and you don't see it as much now. Maybe
that could be the case, but I think you get a lot of transparency from a guy like Bo Bassett, and you don't always get a lot of transparency from a school like Iowa, which that's the case with a lot of schools.
Yeah.
So it's not specifically just Iowa who's holding everything to the chest. Honestly, they're not one of the worst examples. They do some things, and it's kind of interesting, and there's some question marks around them. But Ryan's making a face. What do you think?
I'm itching. No, I was itching. Sorry.
Listening to that podcast with Bash and Willie was so infuriating. Like, for so many different reasons. But that particular thing where they were like, Brands is bad at PR. Like, Bash outright said Brands is bad at PR, and how they're just they don't sell their product, blah blah blah. Like, dude, it just drove me crazy.
It might be from a perspective of like a potential.
How is he bad at PR?
Yeah, where does that come from?
I don't think he's bad. Maybe Bash is thinking he can do a lot more.
You get some great one-liners from Tom Brands.
You do. I really like when Tom Brands is sat down and people ask him questions. I like listening to Tom Brands talk about his athletes, talk about his program. But you have Iowa. Maybe the only idea that I have in my head is that it could be the perspective of what potential is there for the program.
I think he just outright was like, he's bad at PR. I don't think there was any.
He's not worse. He's no better or worse than Cale Sanderson, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, Cale is better. Cale is super dry, and I don't mind it.
It's a different flavor, but they're both the exact. Like, I agree that they're kind of on the same level in terms of the way they address the media.
Bash is a hater too, and he's a Penn State.
He's a Penn State homer, Iowa hater.
I can't even call him a homer because he didn't even go, he's not even an alumni or anything. He just
I don't subscribe to that.
What do you mean?
Listening to Willie too is just, I don't know, dude. It's like, dude, listening to those two talk is like neither one of them are responding to each other. They're
both going on monologues.
Yeah, they're just monologuing. And Willie, dude, his monologues are so bad. Like,
Willie needs to go back to doing shows with fellers.
It does sometimes feel like Willie is like he's got this thought in his head and it's clogged. It can't get out for some reason, it does kind of suck to hear because
I got a lot of other ideas blown in there.
I got nobody to keep him honest. That's my problem. He used to have like Fellers would be a perfect person to keep him like on his toes and honest. Where Bash just doesn't try to challenge him really or anything.
I can't listen to Bash. Period. I just can't.
Yeah, I get it for sure. I've been listening to them more frequently for some reason.
Yeah, I've been listening to them more frequently. I listen to because I'm trying to just absorb more wrestling media to understand the scope more, the landscape. And I listen to Locked On Nittany Lions. Dude, if you want to hear it's Penn State. It's Penn State media. So it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
But man, this I can't remember. There was one guy, he was younger and I don't remember his name, but he was not quite fully aware of the wrestling landscape. And then I think the guy he was with I think his name was Jeff Byers, or I'm wrong on that, but that might be right.
That's right.
Old guy.
Right. Jeff Byers. He knows his shit. He was great. But
you sent a video of Jeff Byers, or not of Jeff Byers, but him commentating the Strachey Angelo match the other day. It was him.
Oh, okay. But the younger guy was talking to him about it. He's like, yeah, Penn State doesn't really utilize the transfer portal or like worry too much about the NIL landscape. I was like, and Byers corrected about like Bernie Truex and Greg Kirkfleet. I'm like, and Mitchell Mesenbrink, and I mean even Kurt McHenry, right? Like you guys get transfers. Like I promise you, and Aaron Nagao, like you have people that come in from the transfer portal,
and you're using NIL. NIL is what pulled Marcus Blaze away from Ohio State.
There was a quote. There's a quote from him.
Said?
Yes, he said that. What was it? Say it. What was it exactly, Reese?
I don't know exactly what it was, but like paraphrasing, it was like, we're not going to be able to get these guys based on NIL. Like our NIL is not going to be like a difference maker with some of these guys.
NIL won't define Penn State's wrestling recruiting strategy. Cale Sanderson says that's what it was.
I mean, but with some of their guys, I mean, at least
paying a lot for
at least with some of them, like Marcus Blaze. I heard Marcus Blaze was all but set on going to Ohio State, all but set.
Really?
And then Penn State came in with some money, a money deal that Ohio State couldn't match, and so he flipped kind of.
He did also say that their guys do get taken care of. So,
yeah.
Everybody's going to get paid, and there's going to be financial competition, and I any reasonable father is going to say, hey, chase your dreams, but also you're not going to have a whole lot of opportunities if you're really good at this to, receive this kind of payment for it. So dude, I mean,
$5 million over 4 years. Oh my goodness.
It's incomparable to even what you would get on the senior level, even if you're the top, the cream of the crop.
So. I also heard, David Taylor was in town in the Dirty Dodge trying to pick up Dreshaun Ross, succeeded. And what I had heard, rumors, obviously, speculation, this is all just hearsay, but I had heard that, Dreshaun was told, you commit right now and we can post it online. There'll be $12,000 in your bank account tomorrow morning. And we'll fly you down this weekend, take you to a car dealership, pick you out a new car. That's what I heard.
Is that within the legal bounds of NIL?
What are the legal bounds of NIL?
I didn't think that you could do any sort of compensation of any sort until they are a student of the university. I guess maybe not. I don't know. And that also might not be a real rumor.
And again, this is strictly from what I hear from other people here in town, right?
Yeah. So it could be drummed up a little bit, but also, Ryan, you missed a major opportunity.
I did.
You had David Taylor in town, and you couldn't get him on the podcast.
I know. I messed up. I didn't even know he was in town until he was gone. I didn't even know he was in town until he was gone. Okay. You know what? Hey. He didn't even bother to come check out one of the best junior college programs in the country. So you know what, David? You missed out.
No, that's true. And you know what? If David Taylor's down in Mobile, Alabama, I'm finding him. I'll know where he is.
Well, I hope you know about it before because I found out after he was already gone. I didn't know.
Right? Yeah. I'm sure, dude. Fly under the radar. For those types of things.
Got to. You're David Taylor.
Yeah, but so back to the general topic. Forrest and Dreshaun are big grabs. Forrest is going to be I think, barring odd off the mat circumstances, he's going to be at the his floor is 4-time All-American, and he could be a 4-time champ. I think you put Dreshaun Ross in that same category because heavyweight will not continue to have the level of quality that it has right now. And I know there's skepticism.
What makes you say that though about heavyweight? Because I think there are a lot of good young heavyweights like Jude Correa coming up, Mako, Mirasola's. Like I think there are a lot.
I could be wrong. I'm starting to feel a little bit wrong.
Kobe Merrill.
I don't know if Kobe will be a heavy, or he's bigger, isn't he?
He just beat Sahakian.
Okay, he's bigger. I thought he was lighter.
97.
Just
heavyweight. Yeah.
In 97. He'll be 97.
I think he's 97.
He looked big.
So I mean, I could be wrong. And I know that there's skepticism around like the health side of things. I'm guessing there's going to be plenty of resources thrown at Dreshaun to maintain things like health and gaining weight and getting strong. I mean,
I'm wondering if he's going to move down to Stillwater next year.
Could, definitely could. Especially if he said I'm done with football and I'm focusing full time on wrestling, like he probably should. Yes, do that. Get healthy.
That would suck for the dirty. That would suck for us.
No. Well, what are you gonna do? But yeah, and Bo Bassett will do a lot of good things at Iowa, and I think Dreshaun and Jax will do a lot of good things at Oklahoma State. I already had an idea in my mind where if Bo Bassett was committed to Oklahoma State, that I was like that's the if you envision David Taylor's initial recruiting process as a crown, that's the gigantic jewel that goes in the middle of the crown, and it's something that's like, okay, this Oklahoma State momentum is on the verge, or is careening towards, the number one spot.
I just feel like he didn't push as hard for Bo because of Sergio. That's how I feel.
That could definitely be the case for sure.
Do you think he didn't push as hard, or is there evidence that he didn't push as hard?
No. This is speculation on my part.
Yeah. Speaking of speculation, I am a little interested in the fact that the conversation was that Bo would be taking more time on this process, and then all of a sudden things need to be done now. So I'm wondering if it was like, hey, we've got this deal for you, but we need to lock it down now. If there was something like that going on.
I thought maybe word was getting out, or that was my initial, but I feel like that's probably
The
not the case.
rumors I heard is that he was gonna kind of play it out until about April ish after NCAA's.
Dang.
And but yeah, Iowa came in. Hey man, $5 million, but like there's a
$5 million.
timetable.
You think that's a real? You think that's a real possibility that it was
Dude,
$5 million?
it's the number that I've seen thrown around by so many people.
Did you hear like Carson Beck? He's getting paid like $4 million to play at
Well,
Miami.
Carson Beck
Yeah, but
sucks.
that's 1 year.
Well, that's true. This is
five
all every year.
$5 million over 4 years.
Really? Okay, well that makes more sense.
No.
That's just crazy, dude. Because you got basketball and football guys, and they're not making $5 million. That's on the upper end of like any athlete. I feel like
it's just a little different for
It's
because of the professional aspect,
right, since they're going to be around for 2-3 years tops, because they're going to be sliding right into the NBA or NFL.
Think about a guy like KU basketball player, Mr. Dick Grady.
Grady Dick, he only made like $500,000 as a freshman.
No, yeah, but he made. I heard he made way more than that because of the merchandise with his name on it.
Well, sure, but so like, that's what I'm saying. Like
$500,000 guaranteed, and then
he was a 1 year. He was a one and done guy, though. Is the other thing?
I know, but like that's KU basketball. $500,000. I don't know. $5 million is just. I don't know. It makes me kind of sad, but it's good. Good for these guys, but I'm just like, man.
It's good to see this.
You know what it makes me think?
There's no purity anymore.
Makes me think I was born too soon. Damn it.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Dude, I mean, did you see somebody was tweeting about? Oh, it was Perler. Nick Perler tweeted about how a parent had called him asking him how she could get her son into a D1 school. He just started wrestling as a sophomore, but he can't wrestle in the summer because he's got like track and football. And he's like, I get these kind of questions like 50 times a year from 50 different parents, and like he's like they don't comprehend. And it made me think like maybe this is because of NIL that this is starting to happen. Well, people are thinking that way.
Moffitt told a bunch of guys just the other day, it's like, man, why wouldn't you try to put yourself in a position to make this kind of money now? It's like, whether you're in junior college or in high school or whatever, but like, why wouldn't you do everything in your power to put yourself in a position to make even $250,000 for a couple of years? You know what I mean? Like pay for a house or a car, or pay off your loans, or whatever it might be. Like life-changing money as a young adult. Why wouldn't you put yourself in that position? So
there's no comparable opportunity like this, and people were throwing comments out there about like, I can't believe the athletes. It's hard to believe the athletes are getting paid this type of money when the coaches aren't getting paid nearly as much. And it's like you compare that to the way professional sports work, and that tracks. That makes sense. You see that in the NFL, NBA.
Oh, really? Coaches don't make nearly as much.
No,
right? Like this is basic, dude. I mean,
you think Andy Reid makes as much money as Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce?
No, but is it close to like other athletes? What does he make?
Maybe, but then you look at
other athletes, but not your superstars.
Like Tom Brands is making more than Ryder Block.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Ryder Block probably isn't making very much right now. So
yeah. So it's good to see. I do kind of wish, like, if this money was in the sport this whole time, why couldn't we be putting it towards other things? But they
were. You know where they were going towards? RTC athletes.
So it's different now.
Yeah.
Because that's the point that I was getting to. College wrestling is the professional. This is our league.
Now
This is our NBA, our NFL.
That's why, didn't you? No, someone did. I don't know. The GM tweet by Willie the other day. Did you guys see this?
I don't think
Willie's
so.
Willie's like, we're basically to the point now where it's like, we're one step away from NCAA's approving, trades or whatever, and and then programs need to start hiring a GM. And Willie was like, I would like to throw my hat into the ring if this is the direction we're going. I'm with him.
Yeah.
I would love it. Guess, yeah, I would love a job like that.
I guess the NCAA it's a business, and so they want to make money, and so this is their direction that they're heading to make money. Then go for it. It's just weird. It's such a weird thing because you only have you have a finite amount of time, and you're dealing with 18 to 24-year-olds, and they're getting a college degree at the same time. It's so strange, I don't know. But let's do you guys have any other additional thoughts with this whole recruiting stuff and college?
No.
All right, let's transition to what is really the professional league of wrestling, which is senior level. Right?
How soon do you have to go, Ryan?
Couple minutes. I got a few minutes.
Okay.
I can talk about Lee and RBY, and then I can leave.
Okay, so yeah, Spencer Lee and Roman Bravo Young wrestled to the semifinals of the Zagreb Ranking Series event. Spencer Lee won 6-2. How did we feel about it? How much were you guys actually able to watch it?
6-3. I haven't watched any of it.
That was the only match. That was the only match I watched.
Yeah. So
Sammy, you've been all over it though, and I appreciate you for that.
Yes. Yeah, and so I did a little number tracking for the whole event for all the US wrestlers. Because what I really wanted to see, and this came after James Green and Alec Pantalia wrestled each other round 1, and then James Green had to injury default because of either concussion or the swelling on his face. And so because of that, they basically wrestled each other and then went home. They flew all the way to Croatia, wrestled each other for the 7 trillionth time, and then went home, which kind of sucked. So I tracked how many matches did we wrestle, and how many were actually against 4 in a competition. So we Team USA so far with all the men's freestyle matches and 2 weights for women's freestyle. We wrestled 57 matches, and 45 of them have been against 4 in competition.
Okay.
So it's really not a terrible number. It got really bad today because Mason Paris beat Trent Hilger and Hayden Zilmer, and then they had to wrestle each other for 3rd place. And then Rocco Welsh and Evan Wick wrestled each other. And I think that was it. But heavyweight was a mess. So the medal summary is Spencer Lee, Zahid Valencia, and Kyle Snyder all took gold, took 1st place. 2nd place went to Joey McKenna at 65 kilos, David Carr at 74, Mason Paris at 125 kilos. And then we had a lot of 3rd places. Nashon Garrett, Nate Jackson, Trent Hidley, Rocco Welsh, Mike Machiavello, J.I.L.O., Hayden Zilmer, and Ariana Villascusa is our first women's freestyle medalist.
Shout out Nashon Garrett. Still just putting up points like a madman.
Lighting up the scoreboard.
Giving him up and putting him up too. I love it. I appreciate him for it.
Absolutely crazy.
Who beat McKenna?
An Iranian. It was... Give me a moment so I can pull it up.
Let's talk about
Gomez,
the biggest...
He took bronze, right? Gomez?
Yeah, but he's not American.
Bronze.
I know.
I mean, he is American, but he's not Team USA.
He's a traitor.
Excuse me, Gomez. Excuse me.
Mohammad Reza Ibrahim Zadesh Savadkuhi.
Yeah, so good.
That could be better. He beat him 8-6. I think it's a match that McKenna could have won, but he started to fade. I think. Or I could be wrong about that. So.
You're not even talking about the biggest upset of the tournament, though.
Biggest upset of the tournament.
As far as Americans over good foreigners goes.
Oh, Jarrett JQ's beat Ismail Musakayev.
There it is.
This was not the Ismail Musakayev that won a world title 2 years ago.
So JQ's is at 70? He was down at 70?
Yes.
Down? I mean, I thought that's what he's always at. Did he go up for a little while?
He was
wrestled
just
74 last year.
74, yeah.
Well, he had to, right?
But
I know.
And then he dropped to 70 for non-Olympic Worlds last summer, and then didn't do so hot.
Yeah.
He's the same as James Green. He's a 70-kilo guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Pantaleo. Oh, sorry, I wasn't trying to attack you. I was just saying.
Sure.
But yeah, so he beat Musakayev 3-2. And then he lost his next match to an Iranian who took fifth. So who lost to Austin Gomez 9-3. Austin Gomez lost to where did he lose? Austin P. Gomez.
I'll be back.
Hibatov.
I'll be back, fellas.
Yep.
What did he do?
He turned off his camera, Reese.
Where did he go?
He'll be right back. Zahid Valencia is looking good. I think. So somebody asked on Twitter. Zahid Valencia is looking great. Who can really challenge him at 86 kilos this year? And I think the only answer that I could realistically come up with was Carter Starachi.
Oh, from America?
Yeah. Who's going to challenge him for the spot, or is Zahid Valencia going to get on the team this year, basically?
Yeah, I can't think of anybody.
I think if Daringer was still around, that'd be an option, a possibility. I'm confused. So maybe what I read was wrong, or it's changed, or I misread it. But so the flow card has Valencia and Brooks wrestling, and I think it's at 86 kilos, if I read correctly, or if what I read is even correct.
I think that's right. That's what I heard.
But it's also weird because Brooks didn't wrestle. He was signed up to wrestle at the Zagreb at 92 kilos and then didn't wrestle. So
yeah, and he claimed he was never going to go 86 again.
Yeah, so I don't know. So that's weird to me. I think what Bash said is that he didn't wrestle for
card
end of this month. I think the 23rd. I think so. 22nd maybe. But yeah. So this is something that started to, or this conversation, this idea started to put me on the trail of who do I think is going to make the senior world team for men's freestyle for Team USA this year. And I have a list. And I don't feel super confident about some of these picks for some reasons. The biggest reasons being, I don't know if these guys are actually going to wrestle. Well, some of them. But I'm going to run through it. So starting at 57, I have Spencer Lee, 61 Vito, 65 Jesse Mendez, 70 Yanni Diakomahalis, 74 Kyle Dake, 79 Jordan Burroughs, 86 Zahid Valencia, 92 Aaron Brooks, 97 Kyle Snyder, 125 Gable Stevenson.
What were the first five?
Spencer Lee, Vito Arujau, Jesse Mendez, Yanni Diakomahalis, Kyle Dake.
So
I don't know.
Dake will be at 74.
I don't know. I'm not even sure he's going to wrestle. Two, he talked about how 74 is a real cut. So maybe he's going to wrestle 79. So then 74, David Carr, maybe, right?
Or O'Toole.
If he drops down to it, I mean,
he would drop down. What do you think?
I don't know.
Especially if he's not healthy. Or 79.
He'd wrestle 79.
Yeah. He wouldn't wrestle. I don't know. I can't. Yeah, he's not that.
He's wrestling 170. He's wrestling 174 right now.
I know.
Well, 74 kilos is 162.8. So I don't know.
If he has Olympic aspirations, he's got to go 74.
Yeah, but especially not being 100% healthy, he might not even wrestle this summer.
Right. So, yeah, I don't know that Messenbrink or Carr.
Yeah, Mesenbrink or Carr at 74. So if it's not Dake, I'll put down. That's a really good match.
Mesenbrink
and Carr. Yeah.
Yeah. In freestyle, it'd be very interesting. Very interesting.
That would be a great match. Side note, because you said in freestyle. So Rocco Welsh lost to the Frenchman, Kajiev. The old one, right? I got thrown in the headlock in 2015.
I think so.
Okay. Yeah. And I could tell it was a very frustrating match for Rocco Welsh because the way that people in the US stall in a hand fight versus the way that people in the rest of the world stall whenever they have a lead is so different. Because Rocco Welsh was pushing the pace in terms of the hand fight, trying to create positions, trying to create angles, trying to beat his opponent. And then Kajiev really just took one opportunity to get to a single leg, take him down, and then gut him to go up 4-0. And then he just coasted off that lead. But it was like 5 minutes and 45 seconds of Rocco Welsh, running him all over the mat. And then is dad calling you?
Yeah.
He just called me.
I haven't heard from him in like a week.
Yeah. He's somewhere in the world. He's around all over the world this month.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so interesting to see the way foreigners kind of reserve themselves positionally, and they won't back out of a position, but they will maintain this like, I guess, level of comfort or just disposition from engagement that a ref can't punish them because of the rules, but it's hard as a wrestler to really go anywhere with it. So it's very frustrating, and I know it's frustrating for a guy like Rocco Welsh to try and push the pace and score and wrestle through positions because I don't think he's too comfortable or too familiar with wrestling foreigners. So it was an interesting thing to look at as a spectator. So
he had a good win though over Wick.
Yeah, a good win over Wick, and then he took his he kind of handled his bronze medal match against the Georgian, who they got chippy at the end of the match. But
I never would have really thought that Rocco Welsh would kind of take off like this. Like when he was in high school, I did not foresee that.
Yeah,
who did he wrestle? Who's number one? I'm trying to remember that. Like
it wasn't Barr, was it?
I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe it was Arnold. I think it was Arnold. Maybe.
Who did Welsh wrestle?
They wrestled a ton of times. That's right. Yeah, Welsh and Arnold.
And Rocco Welsh versus Josh Barr in 2022.
Oh.
Yeah.
So just Josh Barr?
I don't see one for Gabe Arnold.
Oh. Did he win? He won, right?
He won 2022 Who's Number One tournament at 170. Oh, so it was a tournament. Or maybe it wasn't a tournament. Maybe it wasn't a tournament. I don't know. The internet could be wrong. Where was Gabe Arnold here? I don't know if Gabe Arnold ever wrestled at Who's Number One.
No, he definitely wrestled 1 year. For sure, right?
I don't know. Oh yeah. Here's a photo of him wrestling at Who's Number One. He's wrestling Josh Barr. This is 2021. Okay. Or no, that's Rocco. I don't know my wrestlers.
Rocco or Gabe? You're confusing Rocco with Gabe?
No. I confused Rocco with Josh. That's
okay.
Gabe Arnold versus Rocco Welsh in 2021.
Okay.
There you go. But yeah, so this is my guess for the senior world team. Again, don't know if we'll see Dake. Don't know if we'll see him at 74. Don't know if we'll see Jordan Burroughs at all, or Gable Steveson. Jesse Mendez might not wrestle 65 kilos. I mean, he might not wrestle at all. If he's going to wrestle, it'll be a 65.
But what makes you think he won't wrestle?
I don't know. He might just not be trying to make a senior world team right now. I don't know. But I think he would.
One other thing that freaking so annoying listening to podcasts sometimes, because it's a one-way thing. But they were talking about Mendez and how like Willie was talking about their lineup, and then Bash was like, "Oh, Mendez is done after this year." And I was just like, and Willie's like, "Oh yeah, you're right." And that was the end of that. It's like, I don't know, shit drives me crazy.
Oh yeah. So they were talking about somebody fitting in at Ohio State. And they were like, because you're gonna have, because Willie was doing this thing. He was talking about like all these people still being around, and I'm like, we don't really deal with the COVID years anymore. And we're talking about class of 2026, so these kids aren't going to be. And then they also have a redshirt, so we got plenty of elbow room to get to process what's currently in to get them out. So that was a little frustrating to listen to. And I hear you when you say like sometimes it sounds like they're both kind of on their separate tracks, and so they're just waiting for a break in the sound so that they can kind of do their own thing. But
I mean, Willie is just and Bash is just a robot. He's very robotic.
A little bit. But yeah, I feel confident in Spencer Lee, in Kyle Snyder, in Aaron Brooks, Zahid Valencia, Yanni, and Vito. I think Yanni and Vito will have tough challenges. I think Zahid will have, he'll have possibly Starachi, Trent Hidley, Chance Marsteller, Nate Jackson. Like he'll have tough matches, but I think he'll probably be the guy. So
yeah, Nate Jackson, that could be interesting, but maybe not.
It could be
someone who can like match his length and size.
Yeah, but you can't get any of those cram doubles whenever he's wrestling from a knee.
Yeah, whenever he's wrestling from a knee.
Yeah, it's frustrating to wrestle. Okay, let's start looking at some of these upcoming duels. I know right now, I think as we're hosting this podcast or recording this podcast, I think one duel is wrestling right now. I think it's Utah Valley and West Virginia, which has one really good matchup, and some others, but one really good matchup with Terrell Barraclaw and Peyton Hall. I don't know. I don't even. It might not be.
It should be going right now. It's 6. I think 6 Central.
West Virginia wrestling. Utah Valley. They're in Utah. 6 p.m. Mountain Time.
Oh, so 7.
So they should be started. They should be 30 minutes into it. It's on Flow Wrestling.
Why am I not signed in on my phone anymore?
I was also signed out today.
What happened? Dude, I had to log in. I had to log into Ryan's account recently, and I hadn't had to do that in like years. Still remember the password.
Nice. So they're at. They must have started at a heavier weight. Yeah, they started at 174. It looks like, or yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they're saving 165 for the very end. And there's still a couple of interesting matches in here. West Virginia's got a pretty solid team.
Yeah.
And Utah Valley's got some people coming up, but their teams are kind of solid in opposite areas. Utah Valley's got some better lightweight guys. West Virginia's got some better upperweight guys. Jordan Titus is also good for West Virginia, but then they both have really good 65 members.
Right, Strickenberger.
Oh, and Jet. Yeah, Jet. Yeah.
So who's good at Utah Valley's lighter weights?
Drury.
He's still around?
Yeah. He beat Rini earlier this year. Hayden Drury. And I think they have somebody else whose name I'm not remembering right now. So that's going on right now. And then some other upcoming duels. Ryan said he wanted to hold off on Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, Ohio State until he comes back because he said those are going to be really good duels, which I agree with. So we can take a look at Michigan, Penn State. So you obviously listened to Bash and Willie. Did you hear what the line was set for this duel?
No.
I think they said 38.5 for Penn State, Michigan.
Oh, 38.5.
38.5. I don't care.
The lines are getting very aware of what Penn State does.
All right, but I don't care how good you are. That's an absurd line.
Yeah.
Is it not? Let me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pull up.
I mean, so what is that? 4 bonus wins? I guess a lot of bonus wins.
That's a shutout.
Like three
with
pins?
9 bonus points.
So you need 3 pins, yeah.
Right, which is I mean,
who's going to be who? I mean, they're not going to get a win at any weight, as if they wrestle their
they
starting
could.
guys.
Yes, they could. They could. Michigan could 100% get a win. They're favored at a
Well,
weight.
wait.
197.
Oh yeah, Cardenas. Forgot about
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. So Lilladal is probably a guy who you should expect bonus from. Major Tech, maybe a pin if you're able to get that. Wait. Luke Lilladal has a loss to Jacob Moran.
For real?
Nice. Back in 2022.
Oh.
So
Was that like a college open?
It must have been. Interesting. Anyway, Braden Davis also, but we don't know if we're going to see Braden Davis. It could be Kurt McHenry. We don't know if Braden Davis is healthy or not. So, Bo Bartlett, Sergio Lemley, that's an interesting match. Sergio's a little down this year. Bo by decision. Shane Van Ness and I think Cam Ketcherbone is the guy who is starting for Michigan. No longer Dylan Gilcher. So, yeah. So Van Ness could see a major there, definitely. Kasek Saldate.
Just a major?
Yeah, I mean, if Shane Van Ness really wants to put the pace on him, he could get more than that. But
on the off chance that he wants to score a lot of points,
if he's like, well, he doesn't. But if he's like, I care about this line, so I don't know.
He probably cares about teching or pinning.
Yeah, scoring points for sure.
He's probably going to get a tech or a pin.
Kasek Saldate. Saldate is not great this year.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect bonus, though.
Dude, think about last year. If there was anybody other than Bryce Andonian who was right there to beat Levi Haynes, it was Chase Saldate.
Yeah, for sure.
So he's got it in him. We just got to see it. But I don't think we're going to see it. I think Tyler Kasek is a very strong opponent.
What is the deal with Michigan, bro? What's their deal right now? I think Cardenas is like the only transfer I've seen that has actually seemed to at least stay at the same level. If not, he's better.
They had Davison who improved last year.
That's true.
And Gomez was an NCAA finalist.
He had a run. He had the one run, really.
Yeah. That's all you need, right? That's all people are going to remember.
Yeah.
And Gomez was a finalist. He had never done that before.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Shane Griffith, the writing was on the wall in terms of his progression, which looked like regression. I don't think he was ever planning on really making serious jumps and improvement in his wrestling career. And then I don't remember what other transfers they had. So, Bo Mantanona's going to get smashed by Mitchell Bisenbrink, but that's still a top 15 matchup. Levi Haynes is going to bully Joseph Walker. Carter Storaci is going to bully Jaden Bullock. Josh Barr, Jacob Cardenas. This is going to be another one of those. Let's see the test. Let's see where you're at, Josh Barr, and probably a one takedown match.
Do you think Cardenas is like? Would you really put Cardenas in the same tier as like Buchanan?
I think this match will tell us if we should or shouldn't.
Yeah,
but I think he definitely can be. I mean, he's like,
as of right now, like, I don't know. Everybody's like, talking about him, like him, Ferrari, Buchanan. Those are the three guys, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. I just feel like Cardenas is susceptible to some of those lower ranked guys. Maybe still, maybe not.
He's looked really good this year. I think that's been the part that's inspired a lot of confidence in people.
He had like an 8-5 match with somebody. Who was that?
Let me pull it up. Take a look. 8-4 with Gabe Sollers, 5-2 with Camden McDaniel, 8-3 with Isaiah Salazar.
Okay,
those are all of his close matches.
McDaniel, that's a close match.
Yeah, I mean Nebraska. Camden McDaniel's not bad, but I still hear what you're saying. With what we're comparing him against.
McDaniel, Barr beat him pretty bad, did he?
Yes. He
teched him.
Yes, teched him 19-4. But sometimes Cardenas does that. Is what you typically see with him, from my experience, is if he's not getting his offense rolling early, he's not going to score a lot of points. is what I've experienced or what I witnessed.
See.
But I could be wrong. And then Greg Kirkfleet is going to roll Josh Heinzelman up. So
roll him up.
Oh, dude, so you know how WrestleStat does the common opponents thing whenever you're doing a comparison?
Yes.
Dude,
they have a total. So Greg Kirkfleet is 38-10 versus common opponents for Josh Heinzelman, and Josh Heinzelman's 18-22. The record doesn't really matter, but just the number of matches that they both have for common opponents is crazy.
That is kind of crazy.
I mean, 48 common matches.
I'm gonna be right back.
All right.
Where's he going?
He's got to use the restroom, I'm guessing. Virginia Tech, Stanford. I also have on here. I think that'll be a duel with some interesting matchups. If I can find it in here in this list. Of course, there'll be a forfeit at 125, but Tyler Knox, Connor McGonigal, that's gonna be a really good one. Caleb Henson, Jaden Abbas, to see Caleb Henson, see that he's really healthy. Rafael Hippolito and Grigor Chalakin. Not two highly ranked guys, but two very unique wrestlers. So I would consider that a fun match. Lorenzo Norman, Lenny Wolak. We'll see where Lenny Wolak where he's going to be this year. And Lorenzo Norman has kind of separated himself from everybody other than the top three at 174. So if he continues to do that, he's probably going to be a guy that if he can upset anybody between Levi Haynes, Keegan O'Toole, and Dean Hamity, it's going to be Hamity. I don't think he'd be able to beat, but I wouldn't rule it out. I mean, maybe O'Toole, if O'Toole's not fully healthy. I don't think he beats Haynes, though. So, but you keep it in mind. Stemmet and Smith, and there's that duel. I think WrestleStat predicts Virginia Tech over Stanford 26-9. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take a look at the Pitt UNC?
Let's go. Some ACC action, baby.
Let's take a look at this. Well, I just had an ACC duel. That's okay. That's all right.
Yeah, but this is the premier duel for the ACC this weekend. Yeah.
So WrestleStat has this currently predicted at 16-15. And there's going to be a couple of interesting matches in here somewhere. Luca Augustine, Josh Agunsanya, Gavin Kane, Reese Heller, Cade Lout, maxed out. And honestly, that's kind of it. This will be a very interesting duel. Not too many interesting matchups, though.
Who's Derek Cott gonna have, or whatever his name is?
Charlie at 165. He will have Jared Kessler, or Nick Fay will wrestle for UNC. But I don't know. Either one is predicted to be Kessler. So yeah. That is if you want to watch an entertaining duel and not know what the team outcome is going to be, that's one to take a look at. So,
which one?
UNC Pitt. And then Pittsburgh has another fun one against Iowa State. That'll be good. And then I think this last one, Cornell Penn, I think they've both kind of smashed the rest of the Ivy League. I don't think it's going to be a super interesting duel, but I am interested to see Simon Ruiz and Nick and Contreras. And then I really just want to see what the Cornell lineup looks like, what it's going to shake out to be right before the postseason. So, because we know Brett Unger's going down.
Competitive duel?
No, probably not.
They got a good lower weight lineup, right? Penn does.
Let me take a look here.
I don't know.
Gallagher, that Ryan kid, is he still around?
So they got Max Gallagher, Marcelo Milani. That'll be a good match. Ryan Miller, Tyler Ferrara. That'll be a good match. CJ Composto, Josh Saunders, Cross Wasilewski, Ethan Fernandez. Reese is right. Jude Swisher, Meyer Shapiro. Jude is probably gonna have a tough time with that matchup. Yeah. But then Ramirez has an easy match again. The Ruiz Incontrera match. Ruiz won it, or Incontrera won it earlier this year. So see what happens there. Chris Foca, Max Hale. I think Foca's won this match. This is not the match that he has lost. He lost to a Columbia kid a lot. And then Cornell probably wins the 97 and heavyweight matchups. WrestleStats got the prediction at 27-6 Cornell over Penn.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, those lightweight matches, those are a little bit more of a toss up for sure. So, and then it's time for your favorite segment of the episode, the Hoosier Hour. And coming off of a win against Northwestern last week, the Indiana Hoosiers are hosting Ohio State, and it's gonna be a tough duel. I don't think this was initially supposed to be a home duel for Indiana, but they also at first I believe their home schedule was Rutgers and Northwestern, and that's it. And so I think this got switched around, or it was just wrong on the schedule, or I misread it, whatever. There's a good set of matchups in here, and if we get the right results for the Hoosiers, if we see the right things happen, this is an upset duel. But the key matchups are Jacob Moran versus Brendan McCrone, Angelo Arini versus Nick Bouzakis, Tyler Lillard against Patty Gallagher or Ethan Burden. I guess maybe Gallagher might be making his way back down to 57, or did he wrestle at 65 last weekend? Do we know?
Why would he be making his way back down? Are we really?
I think. What makes you say that?
I think we're done with the Sammy Sasso experiment. I think we're done.
Just for no reason.
Really?
Well, so what do you mean done with it? Put him back up at 65?
No, I think he's not in the lineup. I don't think he's the best option at either weight.
Well, who's their best option at 65?
Ethan Burden.
Really?
I guess. I don't know.
Burden is good.
Why'd they put Sasso down at 57?
Because they were trying. They were trying to figure it out. They were giving him his opportunities, and
I think he'll stay at 57.
I don't think he'll be their guy. I think Gallagher's a better option, handedly.
But
anyway, there must be a reason that they moved him down to 57. Maybe the reason was that he was getting the better of Patty in the room.
Let me hang on. Let me pull up Patty. Here's Patty Gallagher, and then let me pull up Sammy Sasso.
Handedly, you said.
Let me defend myself before you.
I don't know if I can
continue throwing my words back at myself. Okay, so far, Patty Gallagher's record is 11-5. Sammy's is 11-7. At 157, Sammy Sasso has 6 wins and 4 losses. He's lost to Jackson Arrington. That's a good loss. Joey Blaze, Ja'Cory Teamer. He got majored by Chase Saldate. Okay. At 157, Patty Gallagher has 4 losses to Jason Kraser, Cody Chittum, medical forfeit to Caleb Fish, and then Ontrell Taylor. He lost in sudden victory. He's beaten Pinheiro Johnson, who's down at 49. He has beaten Legend Lamer. Okay. This could be where I'm wrong a little bit. But also, Sasso's best win is Connor Harrer of Rutgers at 157.
On paper, they're about even. So it's going to come down to a wrestle-off. And who do you really think wins a wrestle-off? There's a reason they flip-flop. That's all I'm saying.
Why do you not want to see Sasso wrestle, Sammy?
I do.
Showtime Sasso. Showtime Sasso.
I like Sammy Sasso, but when
you're making this.
You want me to finish?
You're speculating.
I know.
Needlessly.
Go ahead and finish.
With good reason. Good, let me finish. When I put my coach's cap on, right, and I look at the facts, and I look at how do I put my 10 best guys out there for the postseason, right? I don't reasonably see a way where Sammy Sasso fits into that.
Why is Ethan Burden a better option?
Because Sammy Sasso doesn't want to wrestle 165, obviously.
Yeah.
That's why he dropped down to 57, isn't it?
Why is Patty Gallagher a better option at 57?
I think he has better results. Are they close? Yes. And is it going to come down to wrestle-off? Probably. And is Sammy Sasso going to win that? Yeah. And so as a coach, am I going to put Sammy Sasso out there if that's all that's happening? Yes. But do I agree with it? Do I not have a thought in the back of my mind that says maybe Patty Gallagher would have done better at Big Tens? Maybe he would have done better in CAAs.
I know, because one guy has
he has no evidence.
One guy has proven to do better in the postseason than the other. One guy is proven.
I agree. Where I disagree with you,
regardless of
no. That has to be considered. That has to, because he's a different wrestler, a different competitor. On
if anything, the injury, the context is helping him.
Patty Gallagher had an injury last year too.
Patty Gallagher, what?
Patty Gallagher is battling injury too, coming back from an injury as well. Maybe not as severe.
Distinctly different types of injuries.
I mean, I get it, but also, who do you want out there?
All right,
the guy that made the finals twice, made the podium 3 times.
The guy who's everybody's like, dude,
the guy who hasn't.
Sasso is very well liked, to put it, to put it like as basic as possible. He's very well liked on that team.
I know, and there's a lot of reasons to like him. The story behind it is great, and the type of wrestler he is, and he's a warrior as a person. I don't disagree with any of those sentiments.
So you're talking about putting a guy with like the point differential, like when it comes down to like the NCAA tournament, is negligible, really.
I think you're right. I don't know. When I look at a sudden victory match with Antrell Taylor that Patty Gallagher has, I see a level of potential there, right? But also later on in the season, he loses 60-9 to Jason Kraser, and I say, well, that's a little concerning.
I think if you polled every single Division I head coach on this topic, they would all say the same thing that Reese and I are saying. Go with Sasso. Every single one. Every single one.
Every single one. I think that's really every single one.
Every single one.
Okay. What if I'm gonna ask I'll ask a friend. I'll phone a friend. I'll see what he says. And we'll continue this.
Who's the friend?
I could be wrong. He's a 4-time national champ, so you can figure it out from there.
Okay.
I'm more than happy to be wrong about this.
Pat Smith?
Yes, and from my days at wrestling his wrestlers from Arkansas. I'm more than happy to be wrong about this. I'm excited by the idea of Sammy Sasso having the opportunity to do something awesome.
I'm not entirely sure you should ask Yanni either, because he might have some bias.
He's got bias, maybe
because he's competed against.
No, he does a pretty good job of being objective in these situations.
Okay. All right.
I can ask other people too. I can ask the Indiana
kids. I don't get it, bro. I don't even get the point, man. Leave him alone. Leave Sasso alone.
I don't know, dude. Okay, all right. So this was started because they're wrestling. Indiana is wrestling Ohio State this weekend. Okay, so Sammy Sasso is going to go out there.
Want him? You don't want him to wrestle your guys. You're scared of Sasso.
No. I have Gallagher or Burden listed at 65.
Because you're scared.
No, because Sasso's at 57.
Yeah, Reese, that didn't make sense.
You're scared of Sasso. What do you mean it doesn't make sense?
Because I have a list of significant matchups.
57. He just doesn't.
I have a list of.
He thinks Sasso's going to probably kill whoever Indiana throws out there. That's why he didn't put
He's not going to kill him. Indiana's got. We've got a solid but young and green freshman at 157.
Who's going to take a high crotch and get cradled up and pinned probably.
No, because we have a guy like Graham Rooks who can say, "Hey, I was put in that position for like 3 years straight. This is how you don't get." So
pinned. I'm confused. Do you do or don't want him to wrestle, or is he not wrestling?
I don't know what he's going to. I'm expecting him to wrestle 57 this weekend, but I don't know who we're going to see at 65 because Gallagher didn't wrestle. Oh no, did he? Did Gallagher wrestle in their most recent duel against Michigan? No, he didn't. It was Ethan Burden.
It was Burden.
Yes.
Burden wrestled against Bowman.
Yes.
Bowman won.
I don't know. Hang on. I'm working quickly here.
Because if Burden beat Bowman, I was gonna say if Burden beat Bowman, then I think Patty's out.
No. Burden has wrestled the most recent duel. He lost 12-5 to Bowman. Dude, yeah. I think in the matches show it's close, and so with that you lean with the guy who is going to provide the best culture, right? To have a guy like Sammy Sasso, step or walking right with you side by side during the postseason is a great boost to the team's energy. I agree with that, and I want to see Sammy Sasso do well.
That and the fact that he's proven. You go with the guy that's proven.
He's proven, but he's so different now. And
it doesn't.
Yes, he is proven because where the things where it hasn't changed is up here. So I don't disagree with that. Right?
He could totally come back to form for two competitions. Just all of a sudden, he could just be
that would be miraculous. And I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but it would be so odd to see.
You saying we're done with the Sasso experiment makes me think you don't think it's going to happen.
Listen, I think about.
I don't expect it to.
I think about guys like Wyatt Sheets and Jason Surtsits. Wyatt Sheets not so much. Wyatt Sheets not so much, but Jason, yes.
What would your coach think of this talk?
I think Jason would say, well, I wasn't shot, so it's a little different.
Jason was, dude, he went through some shit.
He was good. I fully understand it. So the things that needed to be worked on were up here, not physical limitations. It is a physical limitation is an insane barrier to get through.
You don't know what those tragedies did to him physically. They could have been limiting him.
Okay, well, so
you just don't believe in the human body,
dude. You guys are trying to paint me as a hater. I'm not. I'm not a hater.
Recent, I believe.
I
also believe. I'm looking at the evidence, and it's like,
come on, bro. You can't say you're a believer when you were like.
Okay.
Are we done?
I believe.
Okay. So I'm not a believer, but I will be a supporter. How about that? Okay. Or I don't know. I don't know how else to put it. If he goes out there and he steps on the line and he's wrestling, I'm watching him and I'm cheering him on. Unless if I see him this weekend, I'm not cheering him on. Sorry.
I do want to finish this off. This topic. I want to finish this off by saying that I'm not sure I'm going to pick him to AA either until I see the bracket. I got to see where he's at in the bracket, see his path.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd pick him to AA right now. Wrestle. I mean, but when I pick Patty Gallagher to AA,
it would need the right path. No. You would need the right path. Well, don't say heck no. It could with the right path. It could happen
at the very least.
No, you're right. With the right path,
let him wrestle.
Okay. So 165, Tyler Lillard versus whatever Buckeyes out there. 74, Gilcher Harchla. 84, Washington Rogatsky. 97, Sollers Shoemate. And heavyweight, Bullock Feldman. There are some serious uphill battles for some of those matches, but I think those are all ones that lie in the balance of what guy shows up, right? We might not even see Buzakis. We might see Davino. I think he still has dates available. And
well, if you see Davino, it's done.
Yeah,
I'm hearing rumblings about Buzakis leaving after this year.
There's rumors.
Yeah,
or is it people just saying
he's going to leave? Well, here's the thing: the rumors that Vince was switching his commitment were also like coincided with the rumors that Buzakis was also leaving Ohio State and going to Pitt.
Okay.
I haven't heard this stuff, but I like it.
Okay.
It's juicy. I was like, man, if Vince is committing to Pitt, then here comes Boozy. Because you know who's at Pitt for Boozy to work out with?
Nico?
The short guy.
Luke
One
Pletcher?
Luke Pletcher.
Luke Pletcher. There you go.
Yep. Yeah.
Luke
Yeah.
Pletcher. He's an Ohio State guy.
I'm gonna be cheering on. Yeah, well, we're not Ohio State fans right now, Reese.
Are you
We're
hearing any
Indiana
rumblings
fans.
about them pulling
Bucks.
Davino's red shirt and going ahead and going with him and not Buzakis, Reese?
I have
They won't do
not
that.
seen anything about that.
Okay.
No,
All right.
not gonna do that.
Why?
Because they won't. Ohio State has a plan, obviously, and they're not going to deviate from their plan. Okay, they have a plan for Sasso. They have a plan for Buzakis. They have a plan for Gallagher. They have a plan for everybody. For Rogotsky, for Geog, for Shoemate, for Rocco, for Feldman, for
Sammy and I were talking about Rocco, and I was telling him how I'm surprised by the levels he has jumped. Like in high school, I wouldn't have expected him to be at this level that he's at now.
Really? Why?
I don't know. I just saw him as like another guy, like Rylan Rogers. I feel like those were like similar guys in my opinion.
But he
and,
was.
Look at where Rylan Rogers is.
This is a guy who was going back and forth with Josh Barr.
Well, Josh Barr, Manny. I don't know. There's a lot of these guys like Josh Barr, Manny Rojas, Gabe Arnold, Rylan Rogers.
I had no faith in Manny Rojas.
Some people don't translate into.
Yeah.
I thought Rocco Welsh was. I always kind of was like, yeah, this guy is going to be good. I think he was going to make the national finals his freshman year. No, but I did think he was going to be good.
I didn't think he'd be making the finals, and I definitely didn't see him. I don't know if Evan Wick is not the same guy, but I was surprised to see him beat Evan Wick too this week.
Yes. So here's a couple things.
I think it was a statement match by boy Rocco.
I didn't watch any Rocco when he was in high school. That generation of high school wrestlers I didn't watch any of. And so I'm out of the loop in terms of what they looked like and what I could kind of see in terms of who would translate well into college. But just looking at Rocco's build, it's like, yeah, he's a very strong guy. And if you have guys in high school who rely a lot on strength to kind of, achieve the level of success that they have, that doesn't always translate into collegiate success because that gets caught up.
He won a lot of close matches. He was
I wouldn't say he relied on his strength, though.
No, so that's why I set the disclaimer of me saying I didn't watch him in high school. I'm just looking at his build and saying this guy's a very strong guy. So I don't know if maybe that's what's playing into it.
Strength is an underrated attribute in college wrestling. I think I tell kids that all the time. I'm like, yo, you need to just get stronger. You'll be surprised at how many more matches you'll start winning just because you're getting stronger.
It 100% is, and it's a big factor. But if it's something that you lean on entirely rather than developing true technique and understanding the flow of a match, then you'll fall behind. But obviously, he understands wrestling very well. He looked great this weekend. He looked great last year. He'll look great in the future. So
this is a dude who's winning Fargo, and I mean, like he had all of the
tons of Fargo champs.
But he was beating good dudes like Josh Barr to win Fargo, and
I just didn't know, man. I didn't know. Rylan Rogers is another example of that, like guy who was on that level, and he's not doing much at all.
I didn't think Rylan Rogers was going to do that well, to be honest with you.
I remember him being a significant name, but was he? No, I'm thinking of Ryan Garcia.
Isn't Rylan Rogers an LHP kid?
No, he's not. I thought he was from up north.
I thought he was Michigan. He was wrestling at Michigan, didn't he?
Yeah, I didn't think he was a Florida guy. Maybe he is.
He might be. No, Ryan, you're thinking of Bryce Rogers, who wrestled at Brown.
Where's Rylan Rogers from?
Yeah, where's he from?
Rylan Rogers. I don't know why I'm looking this up on my phone. Idaho.
That's what I thought. Okay, Idaho.
No, you is Idaho.
I wanted to say Washington, but that's because of Chandler and Jordan Rogers, and they're not related.
Oh, aren't they though?
Well, I looked up his bio, and they weren't mentioned in his bio, so maybe they are.
I think he went to. I remember hearing something about them in an interview being cousins.
Which is another reason why I was like, he could be good.
He went to Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've looked that place up. It's beautiful.
North Idaho.
Blair.
That's where North Idaho is. Oh, he is a
He's a
Blair
Blair Academy kid.
He is a Blair kid. That's right. I was pretty sure he was prep school guy.
I don't know if I think he finished things out at home, though, at Idaho.
You are the
Coeur d'Alene. Coeur d'Alene, that's where North Idaho is.
It's in North Idaho.
Another premier
school.
Yeah, North Idaho.
Yeah.
Junior college, community college, whatever you call it. North Idaho College.
What?
I think that's what it is.
North Idaho.
Mm-hmm. They're up there. They're like,
all right.
Yeah, they're good.
Closing notes. I didn't mention this last week. Oklahoma won the SEC title in wrestling.
We're not talking about
Mizzou.
Iowa, Nebraska.
Oh, that's right. Ryan, I saved this for you.
What is going on there?
I don't know. What do you want me to say?
I don't know. You were excited about it, so
I think it's going to be 8-2.
Iowa.
It's at Carver.
Oh, that's brutal.
Who's getting the 2 wins? Ridge and
Smith?
Hardy.
Smith and
Brock Hardy's not going to get a win?
Hardy has to get a win.
Hardy.
So you think Parker's going to beat Ridge?
He always
he's undefeated.
Always does. Shut the hell up, you two.
He always does.
Backside, sad boy. Hours.
And the other win was bullshit.
Super ultra controversial win at Arizona State.
Ultra controversial.
Super controversial.
Well, this duel is at Carver Hawkeye Arena. So
yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
8-2, 7-3. It's gonna be.
Jacory's not wrestling. All
right. How did we know this for sure?
I think we've seen the probables.
Oh.
So it's Miguel Estrada versus Antrell Taylor.
I heard
a good match.
I've heard that they might be seeking another year for Jacory.
No way, dude.
That's what I hear.
Year number 8.
Oh my god.
This is what I hear.
Hang on.
It's crazy how regular that's becoming. Well, it's not regular necessarily.
And I was with you guys, but then I was like, but why else would they pull Miguel's red shirt? Why wouldn't they just wrestle? Why wouldn't they just throw a guy out there like Caleb Ratchin or Ratchy? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, Miguel. So they just put out 10. So it's Cruz at 25, Schriever at 41, and Estrada at 57. So the rest of the lineup is as expected. So I'm going to say Nebraska wins 25, 41, 49, and 57. It's going to be a 6-4 duel with 33 hanging in the balance.
Joey Cruz could definitely beat Caleb Smith.
Oh, yeah, but he's not
gonna. I don't disagree with you,
some
but
bad losses. Smith, he loses some like head scratchers sometimes.
He what's his biggest head scratcher here? Let me pull.
What if they don't go with Caleb Smith? What if it's Ladrician?
Lauritsen.
Ladrician. Funky name that I don't like to pronounce because it hurts my brain.
Yeah, Trevor Anderson was not a great loss for Smith, but other than that, he's been pretty dang consistent this year. Eddie Ventresca, Troy Spratley, Trevor Anderson, and Luke Lillidahl. I don't think he's going to lose to Joey Cruz.
He's too good on their feet.
I'm not going to rule it out, but I'm not going to expect it.
He's too good on his feet, bro. And Joey Cruz is too aggressive. He's going to sting him. And then sting him again.
I'm just saying that wouldn't surprise me. I'm also not calling it, but I'm just saying Joey Cruz definitely could win that match.
Right. Just like Van D could beat Ayala. Yeah. Reese,
I don't think so.
Not after what I saw last week. All you got to do is stay out of that stupid Jonesy tilt. You're good to go.
Nah, he's got more than that.
He did beat Teskey last year, but Teskey.
That was
not on Ayala's level.
And that was at Nebraska.
I'll take 25, 41, 49, 57. I think that's probably it, right?
74 will be interesting.
Who's their 74? Oh,
Pinto.
Pinto Kennedy. That will be interesting. It could be interesting.
Ryan says.
Could be. What do you think is going to happen? One takedown?
No.
Control?
No, I think Kennedy will probably get 2 or 3 takedowns.
Wow.
I remember when we were talking about Pinto at the start of the year, how he was moving down, and you guys were like...
I didn't like it.
Oh, you didn't like it? I felt
I
like...
also didn't like it.
Oh, I got the vibe that both of you guys were like, oh, yeah. Good. That'll be good. That's exciting.
No, the thing that I liked about Lenny Pinto.
I liked it on paper, I guess, but and if you think about it, it's like guys always do better when they move up versus moving down.
Yeah.
The thing that I liked about Lenny Pinto last year, or in his career so far, is his power, his strength, his ability to power through positions, and you lose that whenever you drop a weight class. So that's what I was worried about.
I think it's benefited Allred more than it's benefited Pinto.
Maybe.
In fact,
Allred is not having that great of a year.
I would see Allred over Gabe Arnold before
probably
Kennedy over Pinto.
Might be right.
Maybe. Allred's 3 losses this year are to Keck Eisen, Starachi, and Max McAnally, but they have not
he's having a pretty
close.
good year.
Yeah, so I was like, that's actually not no.
So I thought he had
good losses.
How did he do it? So what did he place at?
He didn't wrestle CKLB. He didn't wrestle CKLB.
Him or Pinto didn't wrestle.
So Pinto is actually
Pinto did. My bad.
He's had 2 matches that he's won that haven't gone to bonus, and all of his losses have also gone to bonus. So
what's his record?
He is 14-3 with an 82% or 70% bonus rate.
It's pretty good.
I'm just saying,
it's a solid year.
Gabe likes to wrestle close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those will both be interesting matchups. This is going to be a really good duel. Ryan, I feel like you kind of poo-pooed on it initially,
but I think it's going to be 8-2.
Could go 5. When is this? When is the duel?
8-2.
This is tomorrow. I don't know what time though.
It's a Friday night duel. Probably the later one, if I had to guess.
I think Caliendo Minto it's an interesting match too. Minto or Caliendo could get bonus, but it still should be an interesting matchup. So the WrestleStat has Caliendo as the 3rd at 165. Who would they put ahead of him?
Peyton Hall.
Oh, because he's
Speaking
undefeated.
Of Peyton Hall.
Oh yeah, so that's gonna be the last match. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's Nebraska, Iowa.
Peyton Hall has had a great year.
He's undefeated. He hasn't wrestled anybody crazy, but he's undefeated. So, next duel we wanted to take a look at is also
twice.
That's pretty good.
Deuce.
Pretty good.
He hasn't wrestled anyone crazy. He says he's beaten a mean twice.
Beaten Garvin twice.
Ooh, 2 times?
Technically.
Oh, yeah, technically, yes. Once officially, another time.
Didn't he?
Oh, the NWCA.
Yep. All-Star.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a good win.
Dang, Ray Lawrence is at heavyweight. I didn't realize he was at heavyweight.
Has never lost to Julian Ramirez. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, that was just you just threw shade for no reason. I don't understand why you do that, but Julian was so far outside of this conversation. You're just like never always gets his hand raised when he's wrestling the Big Red. I mean, you just never see a loss against those kind of guys. You just,
especially in the blood,
always finds a way to win it. You're an asshole.
I love Julian Ramirez, and I think Julian Ramirez,
especially in the blood round.
I think Julian Ramirez is getting on the podium this year. I'm picking him.
You make me want to go through his losses at NCAAs now.
Why?
Because Julian Ramirez has had
one year he had a first round loss, and that was it.
Dude, to Caleb Fish. The way I would look at his, not all of them, but some of his regular season performances versus his postseason performances, it is eerily reminiscent of Alex Marinelli.
Yeah.
It's not quite to the same caliber.
Yeah, Alex could get it done at the national tournament.
Yeah.
Excuse me? What?
He did. He would get on the podium. That's what I mean.
And he got on the podium. He got spladled doing it, but he got on the podium.
Dude, that was brutal.
Not as it was, but not as bad as Brock Hardy's.
No, because Brock Hardy is so much more
lasted
flexible.
way longer.
It was just on national television with both of his legs by his ears.
Oh God!
He's like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?
He's like, did I just get pinned?
I would have. I would have been like, all right, enough embarrassing.
Jesse, let me get pinned.
I would have looked over and was like, I'm gonna adjust my shoulder blades down so we can get out.
All right. I'm gonna name you the 3 people that Julian Ramirez has lost to in the blood round. One of them we already know, Peyton Hall, and the other 2. Actually, you guess. Who are the other 2?
Dean Hamidi?
Nope.
David Carr?
No.
Deacon O'Toole?
Think about this.
No.
Give me years.
2023 and 2022.
Shane Griffith?
No. Yes, it's 2022. 2023 was Shane Griffith. So 2022.
Cam Amin.
No. But this is a guy who is still wrestling right now at his school, or at the same school from back then, and at a different weight class.
Oh, so he's up to 74. It's not Dean Hamidi. Keegan O'Toole?
Already.
You said O'Toole already? But O'Toole's never been in the blood round, so I don't know why I said that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he has. His freshman year.
I thought he got...
Was he?
Yeah, he got beaten in the quarters.
2021. That was the quarters, yeah. 2021.
Come on, guys. Come on.
No, give it to me.
Who is it?
Carson Harchla. 4-3 in a ridiculous match. He's going to get on the podium this year. It's going to be great.
This is his year.
There is no other year. It has to be.
It's going to be, you know what? I'm calling it. He's going to have himself a Di Camillo. He's going to,
you know what would,
he's going to
you know what would be
it.
you know what would be so, like, just egg on your face, Sammy? Ironic. If Sammy Sasso went back up to 165 and beat him in the blood round.
Oh man,
dude, I think I would actually cry. I would be so overwhelmed.
No, I'm calling it. I'm calling it right now. He's gonna Cam Di Camillo it.
Cam? Was that his name or George? You mean George?
George. Did I say Cam? I meant George.
SMIC finals is what you're saying, right?
Virginia wrestler from back in 2017.
He was so close, so many times to getting on the podium, never could get it done, and then made the finals.
What year did he? Oh, he wrestled Dean Heil in 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I meant George. I said Cam. I don't know why.
Okay. I hope for that. Let's get back to the duel: Ohio State, Minnesota.
No, I gotta go eat dinner.
That's a good one.
Come on, quickly. Quick. This is it, Ryan. This is it.
Gable Steveson by Tech Fall.
Yes. Okay.
Are there any other good weights? Max McAnally.
Is Flynn back?
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah. Flynn, McCrone, Wells, Buzak. I mean, all of these matches are good. Von Bar, Mendez, D'Amelio, Roberts, Askey, Sasso, Sparks, Gallagher, Whiting, Harchla, Rogotsky, McAnally.
7-3 Minnesota.
Dude, I don't know what to think there. I'll probably give it to Ohio State because,
7-3 Minnesota.
When was the last time Minnesota beat Ohio State? It's been a while.
Since 2014, the record is 5-1 Ohio State.
So they won
They've won once in the last
2014.
10 years, 11 years. So, yeah. So that's going to be a great duel. That's on tomorrow.
7-3 Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Ryan says.
Closing
Ohio State. That's what I say.
I'm gonna say 6-4 Minnesota. Closing thoughts here. Oklahoma State is set to break the third attendance record for an away duel. They did it at Utah Valley. They did it at Northern Iowa, and they're set to do it against Little Rock this weekend.
They're taking the credit for home crowds.
I mean, you
for
gotta follow
opposing
the
teams'
common.
home crowds.
You gotta follow the common denominator, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I have a new most anticipated match on the senior level. I texted you guys about it. I want to see.
I don't give him any credit for the UNI one because it wouldn't have mattered if it was David Taylor or not. It's because the UNI crowd was because of how good UNI is.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I also think the Utah Valley turnout is in part due to the new head coach there, Adam Hall. So. New most anticipated match for the senior level is Masumi versus Gable Stevenson. I really want to see it. I want to see somebody. I want to see such a clash.
Why him over Zare?
Because I think Stevenson smashes Zare regardless. I just want to see.
I watched Zare?
No, but it is a difference in styles that is so contrasting that I need to see what happens.
Okay,
I need to see it.
So. Say sorry. All I can think about is Petrosvili doing this to him. That's all I can think about. Yeah, it was so cool.
It was great. It was great. And then, I already told my prediction for the 2025 men's freestyle world team. Ryan, if you want to know what it is, you're going to have to watch the video.
Is it Spencer Lee, Dayton Fix?
That's right. Dayton Fix.
Yep, Dayton Fix. Definitely the person I would choose over my friend. Definitely.
Oh, Vito. I wasn't sure if Vito was healthy or not, or if he was staying down at that weight class.
61's fine for him.
All right.
Spencer Lee, Vito Ruzar, Jesse Mendez, Yanick Mahales.
Oh, he was going to guess it.
I was.
Okay, keep going then.
Keep
going. Keep going.
All right. I was going to go Mendez.
Seth Gross.
I was going to go Yanni Diakomahales. 74, Kyle Dake. 79, Jordan Burroughs.
I can't remember who he picked.
Yep,
oh, yeah.
Yep.
That was Burroughs.
86, Zahid Valencia.
Yes.
92, Aaron Brooks.
Yes.
97, Kyle Snyder. Heavyweight, Gable Stevenson.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job. But you got the second one wrong.
Disqualified for the second guess.
I was gonna say I honestly thought Vito was going up. I'm not even lying to you. I thought Vito and Yanni were both going up. I was going Spencer Lee, Dayton,
I don't blame that
Vito
logic.
Rujao, Yanni Diakomahales, and then yeah, that's where I was gonna go.
I don't think Vito's gonna be 65 kilos, but I could be wrong. You know what? I'll find out. We'll see. So
I think he will be eventually.
But then Yanni's going to eventually be 74?
Yes.
Why? What?
Whoa.
You think Vito will be 70 eventually? Is that what you said?
Yanni, 74.
Okay.
No. Here's what I'm banking on, honestly. This is what I'm banking on. I'm banking on them putting in more weight classes for 2028.
Or just adjusting them a little bit. Let's move everybody up 2 kilos. Just do a little lift and shift.
I'd rather them add weights than shift 6 weights. I'd rather them add at least 2 more.
Well, I would too, but wouldn't you like a shift?
Well, if you're going to add
a shift.
I mean, if you're going to add 2 weight classes and not make it a full 10, then yeah, you probably have to shift, right?
Do a little shift.
Just shift in general. Shift the bottom weight. Make it bigger.
Make a little shift. Shift it. Shift it down.
Shift it down. You're right.
Shift it down. I want.
What was I thinking?
55 kilos.
All right. I'm hungry. Peace out.
All right.
Thank you for listening, everybody. I hope you have a good time.
What are you going to eat?
And all that stuff. Goodbye.
Steak and potatoes.
All right. Delicious.